Hello and welcome to DH Newsroom. The All India Trinamool Congress was founded on January 1, 1998, when Mamta Banerjee decided to part ways with the Congress. In the 28 years since then, the party has ruled West Bengal for 15 years. Since 2011, till a few weeks back, Mamta Banerjee's party was a force to reckon with. All that changed on May 4th. The SNP poll results saw the TMC lose power, and to add insult to injury, its tally was reduced to 80 seats in a 294-seat House. The BJP came to power with a thumping majority of 207 seats, and since then, the TMC has been witnessing an endless rally of internal unrest, rebellion, splits. Call it by different names, but one thing is clear. Mamta Banerjee is perhaps facing the biggest political test in her decades-long career. To discuss these developments, I have my colleagues Sumit Pandey and Shemin Joy. Sumit, if I could come to you first, why did the TMC collapse? And if you look at it, 80 seats, is it a real bad tally?
I mean, if you consider that Mamta Banerjee was once considered invincible in Bengal, she managed 29 seats out of 42 in the Lok Sabha elections, improving her tally from the 2019 elections and looked comfortable with 45% plus votes. And then there is a certain collapse in the sense that a BJP, which was seen as a party which would find it difficult to cross the halfway mark, because of various reasons, because of the peculiar demography of the state and various other factors, it got a three-fourths majority. But in the past, Viju, we have seen that whenever, first of all, Bengal in the last 40, 50 years has seen very few transitions, power transitions, unlike in other states, wherein, parties have changed, have come to power various. Leaders have changed within the parties. From 77 onwards, we have had Jyoti Basu, then the smooth transition of power to Buddhadev Bhattacharya, TMC, and then 15 years of TMC. So three chief ministers up till now, and Suvendhu is the fourth chief minister. So first of all, when the power changes, it changes rarely and it changes after a certain period in time. If there is somebody who comes to power, that person remains in power for a long period in time. And even after when CPM lost power in 2011, we saw not sudden, but over a period of time, exodus both from the Congress and the left parties to the TMC. There are many leaders in the BJP also over the period in the last 5 or 7 years who could not get themselves adjusted within the TFC. They joined BJP. The Malta North MP Khagan Murmu is a TMC. It was a CPM leader once. He's now a BJP MP. There are multiple leaders. So it's not surprising. But earlier, what used to happen was that these exodus or this movement was slow and steady over a period of time. What we are seeing now is mass exodus. It's happening suddenly. And that has also got to do with the current political situation in the country, especially at the center, where we have seen that the BJP has sought to consolidate its positions earlier also. In Maharashtra, we have seen. And now, concurrently, as it faces or it failed to get the women's reservations bill along with the delimitation bill passed because of the lack of the two-thirds majority, and they don't have numbers comparatively as they had in 2019. So the obvious inference being drawn is that whether this sort of consolidation is being done at the national level to achieve that special majority, and for the people in Bengal or the political leaders, second or fourth rank leaders or second rank leaders, if they're looking at a state or the state polity which changes color not immediately, but over a long period in time, then they are bracing themselves up for a 15-year or a 20-year or a 10-year period where
Okay.
they may expect BJP to be in power. And in a state where your local politics, your economics, your employment, where working for a party unto itself is an employment, West Bengal is one of
Okay.
those states. They are looking at their political future. I mean, right, Ritabrata for that matter, who is leading the now claiming to lead the party, TMC in the Rajya Sabha, started his career with the SFI. He came to limelight when Mamta Banerjee visited Niti Aayog for the first time with the finance minister after 2011, and he and his colleagues accosted him, and there was a very rough protest outside Niti Aayog in Delhi, and it's from there that Ritabrata came to limelight. Now he shifted later to TMC, and now a rebel faction of the TMC, which is being seen as sort of pliable to the BJP.
If I could just add to that, just another question. Was such an exodus um, perceived by many people, or anyone had perceived that if the TMC were to lose, you could see this kind of an exodus, given that when TMC won, you saw the left and the Congress fall in West Bengal. Did anyone actually anticipate this kind of an exodus, or has it caught everyone, even political pundits, by surprise?
See, as I said, in Bengal, it's people, because governments change rarely. And
Hmm.
people and political analysts find it difficult to believe that there is going to be a shift, a tectonic shift. Uh, Even when I was traveling in Bengal, I mean, even in 2011, if you were to think about it, you get this sense that there is unrest. But people would come to the conclusion that there is unrest, but Mamta will skate through. There is unrest,
Okay.
but CPM will come to power. uh, it's difficult at times for people to gauge the extent of the unrest against the incumbent, and which is why also, I guess, if the people or the second rung leadership in this in the TMC would have got a sense of the verdict,
Hmm.
I reckon that you would have seen more exodus before the elections. The other factor
Before the election.
here is that since the BJP has contested these elections against the TMC on the issue that this is a corrupt government, and there is a syndicate which is extorting money, BJP also finds it difficult to accommodate these people, within the party. Now, how do we do that? So, which is why we see that two separate parking spaces, sort of, as they say, have been created, where in one space you have the parliamentary party breakaway, or as it is claiming now,
Mhm.
the one in one space is the legislature party.
So this is actually a question of whether the TMC saw it. And Shemin, I'll come to you. Today, there is an article by you on the website. The headline for the article is Post Rebellion TMC Tries Reset. Mamta Banerjee to meet party workers 6 days a week. Now, Shemin, if I were to come to you, according to your story, the TMC has introspected. It's a month and a half has passed since the election drubbing it got. It has introspected. What have they introspected? And is it a bit too late in the day for such an introspection? Shamin, your views.
See, introspection, when every parties do this so-called introspection after any election debacle. Trinamool Congress is also no different, I think. But the interesting thing is that this introspection, whatever they found in these deliberations in the last over a month, they should have found it before the elections also, which they did not. These concerns were raised. Like if you speak about the over reliance on the consultancy called IPAC, or the leaders inaccessibility, the inaccessibility of Abhishek Banerjee, the National General Secretary, or to an extent Mamta Banerjee, or the way that these decisions were taken. So these kind of things they would have understood, or they should have known earlier also. These things were flagged outside the party system, or to the leaders who are close to the top two leaders. Interestingly, in the last 1.5 months, the leadership is willing to accept that over reliance on the consultancy rather than the party organization was a mistake. So there is a reset on that. Now, after the election debacle, now it is being decided that Mamta Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee will meet the leaders or the party workers or public 6 days a week from 2 to 5 p.m., 2 to 7 p.m. Every day. I mean, as far as possible. Then there will be, they are not going to take any drastic disciplinary actions because they feel that people are under pressure, the workers are under pressure. So if somebody comes out and says something, until and unless it is a big or a huge anti-party activity, they are just going to skirt it away for the time being. They are also not appointing any new office bearers. The reasoning given is that they don't want to put these leaders under pressure. The moment you announce somebody as a particular office bearer, there will be pressure on you. That is the fear. So these kind of decisions which they took now, or they understood in the last 1.5 months, no, that was not the case before. So introspection is always good, but like sometimes you would have taken these decisions a little bit
No,
earlier.
after losing power and being in the opposition, if you're going to meet them 6 days a week, I don't know what purpose it serves. And from what you're saying, by not naming anyone, the party is going into incognito mode. Are we to understand that?
No, it is not incognito mode. It's a firefighting measure also. I mean, like they want to, as far as I understand, the Trinamool leadership wants to consolidate as many as people they can, consolidate their position, because there is a huge pushback from the rebel factions. I mean, like one section, the parliamentary party it has merged with a little known organization called Nationalist Citizen Party of India. Then at the same time, the legislature party, the MLAs, 60, 65 MLAs out of the 80 in assembly, they are trying to claim the symbol and the party name. They have started moving in that direction. So for Mamta Banerjee and Abhishek Banerjee and their set of leaders, it's going to be a fight. I mean, like we have to see how it unfolds. It's going to be a big battle. It won't end at the election commission. I think it will go to the Supreme Court, High Court, and the Supreme Court.
Sumit, to you on what Shaman said, now that there are two camps, who is likely to retain the party insignia and what could be the road ahead for both the factions, especially Mamta Banerjee if she does not retain what is now in quotes the real TMC?
Well, that's a matter for the election commission and the later. Obviously, it will go to the the High Court or the judiciary to decide. But I think the question here, more pertinent question here, would be that we have seen in two cases in Maharashtra, in the NCP and the Shiv Sena case, where the matters have gone on for a very long time. And recently, there was also a matter regarding an election petition in Tamil Nadu, where the matter went on for almost 10 years. And the total legislative, duration of the House is 5 years. So it went on beyond that. Now, under these circumstances, when then the entire process for the political party itself loses the purpose. 4 years from now, if the matter is decided over a long period in time, either ways, whether it's decided this side or that side, if you lose, what is the fight? The fight is about symbol. Fight is about symbol, and fight is about the resources of the party or the money that the party has. Now, if that goes on for a very long period in time, 3 years from now, there'll be Lok Sabha polls. So, the political party which is claiming to be the original party would want to retain that symbol because they have already, it's registered with the people. But even in terms of symbol, Biju, I think that in this age, we have seen in Maharashtra that Shiv Sena, Uddhav Thackeray group and the Shiv Sena, the NCP Sharad Pawar faction.
Okay.
The NCP Sharad Pawar faction, because the original NCP symbol went to Ajit Pawar. In this case, it went to Shinde. They were able to take that symbol to the people because the communications has now, changed the modes and methods. That Lok Sabha elections, these two parties won more seats than the original party. Shiv Sena, Shinde won less seats, and the Shinde faction won less seats than the Uddhav Thackeray faction, and Sharad Pawar faction won more seats than Ajit Pawar faction. Which means within a very short span of time, they were able to take the symbol to the people. I think the concern more is about the resources. So TMC has 1,000 odd crores in its accounts. Then there would be physical assets associated with the party. I think that's the crucial factor which I think they'll be fighting.
So just to paraphrase it, if the battle for the insignia were to prolong, both the sides would not have access to the resources, and that would mean that the political initiatives
it's the power of the election commission has the power to seize the symbol. and give separate symbols to the parties. It can allocate the original symbol to a political party or a faction and ask the other faction. See, as far as the MPs are concerned, they've already merged with a new party.
A new
So
party.
that's not an issue about the parliamentary party or the Lok Sabha faction of the party. The issue is essentially about the legislative wing.
Okay.
And the legislative wing also could have done the same. But then they wouldn't have been able to challenge Mamta Banerjee for the symbol and the resources. So at the center, they have merged with a different party. So and in the state, as a tactical move, strategic move, they have decided to challenge Mamta Banerjee's leadership and also claim the same.
Okay, it's a two-prong attack over there. Shemin, if I could come to you, how does this implosion of the TMC reflect on the India bloc?
See, I mean, like you have to go back to a little bit of the past years, how Trinamool viewed India bloc. Say they had always been a rebel. They always challenged the Congress leadership at that particular point of time. Whenever there were crisis or Congress was on a back foot when electoral defeats faced the Grand Old Party. Always they projected Mamta Banerjee as a national leader who could lead India bloc. This particular thing came out after the 2024 Lok Sabha elections, after Congress failed to win Haryana and they lost the Maharashtra votes and all. But even before the West Bengal elections, but during the campaign also, the Trinamool Congress rhetoric was that we have a free-time chief minister who is fighting the election, who will be win the next term. And once she wins, she will be an unparalleled national leader. So they're projecting as if she will be staking claim for a national role as an opposition leader. But nothing happened because the results in May 4th results were entirely different. Then you could see suddenly a change in the demeanor of Trinamool Congress. Obviously, after a debacle, you cannot have that so-called 56-inch as some others claim. Suddenly, Trinamool's there was a change in their approach and attitude, and Congress also responded in an interesting way. Even though during the campaign, Rahul Gandhi attacked the Trinamool Congress and even Mamta Banerjee, but he was very quick to support the Trinamool Congress agenda of vote chori after the elections. Even in the India bloc meeting, Rahul said, Mamta Banerjee may be 40% or 90% convinced about vote chori. I am 100% convinced that the elections in West Bengal were stolen. Given that, now Trinamool understands that their positioning in the opposition bloc is a little weakened. So they have adjusted themselves to that reality and now supporting Congress in a big way. Because they also have the West Bengal alliance arithmetic also in place. They don't want Congress and the left to come together again. I mean, even though in the assembly elections, Congress and left part of base contested separately, unlike in 2024 Lok Sabha elections or the previous 2021 assembly elections and all. So they want to consolidate, I mean, they don't want left and Congress to come together. That they have achieved in a way by supporting Congress. One of the problems for India bloc is that they are too down now. I mean, because DMK is out of the alliance because Congress went with TVK. Now, as a bigger ally, you don't have a bigger ally like TMC who can handle or who can manage West Bengal. So, in that way, India bloc is a little weakened in these kind of aspects. But like you see, politics is a different ballgame. Things can change. If they can build up a good narrative, a better narrative, a resistance movement, then it will be interesting.
My final question, first to you, Shemin, and then to Sumit, the same question. In the past couple of years, we have seen regional parties in the opposition space splitting. You had the Shiv Sena, then you had Aam Aadmi Party, TMC, and now there is also talk about the NCP also being for further split. My question is, in all of this, does Congress's hand improve in the opposition space as numero one? Does it make an unassailable lead where its position is becoming unquestionable as a leader of the opposition?
See, Congress has a better positioning vis-a-vis pre-2024 Lok Sabha elections, especially after this round of election. Congress has won the Kerala elections, and like I said, like during the campaigning, you didn't see Rahul Gandhi having a joint campaign with M.K. Stalin. So he was positioning the Congress in Tamil Nadu in a different way. The Congress immediately joined TVK after the elections. In Bengal, they attacked Mamta Banerjee. In Kerala, Kerala, obviously, there was a contest between Congress and the left, but Rahul Gandhi coming and attacking Pinarayi Vijayan and the left and calling it a B team of BJP was huge. So they are positioning Congress has been positioning itself in the opposition bloc during these elections. On paper, Congress has an upper hand, but no party is a pushover. Like you have seen a pushback from the left parties during the CPM, especially during the India meeting, when Rahul Gandhi's speech was publicized by the Congress. Deepankar Bhattacharya, the CPI-ML General Secretary, wrote a huge article. You have VCK, which is a Congress ally, otherwise, which is also with the TVK in Tamil Nadu. Its General Secretary writing an article saying that Congress is not the glue. But it is that fight against BJP which is the glue for this fight. So Congress has an upper hand in the political space, but you cannot rule out other parties because politics, when again one election can change this situation.
Sumit, over to you. Has the Congress's chances improved over the years, especially the recent past few years? And at one point of time, the BJP's goal of a Congress Mukt Bharat, is the opposite happening?
Congress also has, over the years, if not in bulk, but lost leaders to the BJP. In bits and pieces, it has lost governments, as in Madhya Pradesh, with the exodus of Jyotiraditya Scindia and his MLAs. So it has happened in the past with the Congress also. I think what the Congress is trying to do currently is to create a narrative or a perception that it remains the only and if not the only, but the most credible alternative to the BJP. So occupy that anti-BJP space and assume the leadership position. Earlier, the problem was that you had too many claimants for that. People would challenge Congress also for the leadership position. Also, because in many states, some of these parties are in direct contest with the Congress party. One has to also understand the local dynamics. I mean, if Congress were to support or if the left were to support Congress in Kerala, I mean, then you're leaving the field entirely for the BJP. Same is the case for Punjab currently. So what it is trying to do is that in states where it sees that the smaller regional parties are weakened, it is trying to project itself or evolve itself as the most credible alternative to the BJP. So that if at any point in time there is a situation wherein there is a mobilization against the current pole in the Indian polity, Congress becomes the natural repository of that mobilization against the NDA or the BJP. It becomes the chief claimant of that mobilization, if there is a sentiment. I think that's what they're trying to do. Politics is, it's a long haul and it requires a lot of patience. And I think they're approaching it step by step.
So the Congress seems to be doing better, but our focus is on the TMC, whether the TMC is in, a place where it is of no return. Which way does it go ahead? The party has been split. Can Mamta Banerjee retain power of the TMC? Can she actually come back to power and become a powerful opposition leader? These are the questions before us. But as Sumit said, and rightly so, in politics, it's also the game of patience. We'll have to see who actually wins this out. For all the news and updates, stay tuned to DeccanHerald.com. You can also subscribe to our YouTube channel and press the like button so that the next video, when it comes, you'll be notified. Until then, have a good day.